Alright, what's good with y'all? Today I'm gonna show y'all my full body day, what I did to the gym, and some of my physics stuff that I learned today. Let's start off with the full body workout. Alright, so I started off with flat bench press, and I actually did it with the machine version. I know you're seeing the clips right now, but I use the machine version because it's a little bit more stable. When I first started off the exercise, I kicked this little lever. My gym actually offers that for that machine specifically, and it already does a pre-start, so I don't start off in the super overextended. Like, instead of having my arm over here, I can start off like this and then start and then go back down like that and work freely the range of motion, since it's a little harder to start when your arm is all the way back here. So I use that to my advantage to start off my first push, and then I lock out my elbows and I started doing the full range of motion. And I actually got up to 3 plates. I don't know how much that is in flat bar and the barbell bench, but just those 345 plates by themselves on each side is already 270 of added weight. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. My bench press has been going really up. Since I bulked up, my strength has actually gone exponentially higher, and I'm actually pretty happy about that too. The next exercise I did was front squat. I didn't do Zercher this time because I actually did notice that when I do a lot of shots in jiu-jitsu, when I would go for a double leg, I'd start off here, I'd have their legs, I would I would actually have bad posture. So I want to focus on keeping my posture, my head up, and I can do that with the Zercher squats. I will lock up my arm like this and then actually continue the squat motion and then go up, making sure to keep my head up and keeping that posture up so I can stay strong and stable. I did work up to 155 pounds on that set. I could have probably done a little bit more, but I was actually pushing myself, and I haven't done this exercise in a minute, so hopefully I can, put on more weight over time on that exercise. And then after that, I did the power clean. I did see a lot. I do like that exercise a lot. I don't know if it's the clean and jerk or the power clean, same shit to me, but it's one where you jerk it up and then you push it over your shoulder. I like that one a lot because for a full body day, you're already hitting legs and shoulders there too. You're doing a lot of work out there, and it helps out to train your explosiveness. And I feel like for me personally, it transferred over pretty well in grappling and stuff like that. And so I started off with the 45-pound bar. Then I added 25 pounds on each side. It was pretty light, but I wanted to make sure I had good form and working on that because I'm not used to that exercise. I don't do it that often. And I'm trying to get that up. And my goal to work up to would be probably 225. I could do a 225 power clean. I'd be pretty satisfied with the exercise. That'd be pretty cool. The next exercise I did after that was it was an underhand lat pull down. I do that one because I do want to hit the lats, which are this lower part of your back. And you can hit that pretty well in other machines. Obviously, you could do the isolated lat row where you crunch down. But I actually did like that underhand grip because your biceps do help out a little bit. But it was more of you could call it a combat, you could not. Most people would call it an isolation movement, but I just want to do it for my lower lats and a little bit of bicep. You could say a little bit of biceps were used there. Rest time is very important. When I do the heavy compound movements like the Zercher squats, the plate-loaded machine bench press, and the power clean, I always make sure to wait at least 2 minutes between sets because I want to make sure I'm well rested and ready to take on the next set. And I want to push myself. And honestly, after those sets, I'm tired. After I hit the 3 plates on each side and the machine bench press, I was so tired that I really didn't want to. I just wanted to stop there. But you got to stay focused. You got to stay locked in, and you got to push through it. So I stayed through it, and I finished the other sets. But I made sure to wait at least 2 minutes. I know some power lifters, people who actually train to export as much strength as they can, they sometimes rest around 5 minutes or 7 minutes. Sometimes they rest 10 minutes. That's why they take so much time in the squat bars or in the bench presses. And for good reason, because they're just trying to train to push as much weight as they can. And to do that, you want to make sure you're well rested. You can't just bench 500 pounds and then wait 1 minute and be 500 pounds again. That shit is not going to happen. So that's what I did. I'm making sure for at least my compound movements over 2 to 3 minutes and resting. When I rest, I just sit down or move my shoulder around like this, and then make sure to keep my music up. I make sure to stay hydrated. Talking about hydration, I love the Santa Cruz electrolytes. If you actually did want to try it, I'm not sponsored by them. Hopefully I get sponsored one day, but It's they're really good hydration. I really do use that for when I go train jujitsu or when I use the weightlifting when I go to the gym, because they have a lot of good salts and stuff that helps out. They have potassium, a lot of sodium chloride, which is just table salt, but they have a lot of good electrolyte salts that are soluble in water and that help you out a lot, just keeping yourself hydrated, because you do lose a lot of electrolytes when you sweat and when you roll in jiu-jitsu, or when you sweat a lot in the gym. So I do recommend those a lot. I do stay hydrated with those while I work out, and I really don't see my strength going down because of that. My strength has gone pretty up, staying hydrated and stuff like that. And personally, I don't use caffeine. I don't take any pre-workout, and the last time I took pre-workout was probably around 6 months ago or like a year ago. I really don't drink caffeine like that because I just didn't, I personally don't enjoy it. I understand if other people enjoy it. If you like it, then go ahead and take it because it could help you out for the workout. But I personally, like, if I'm tired, right, if I'm sleepy and I have the time for it, I just take a little 30-minute nap. No, 15 is 15 is the rule of it. Is to be less than 30 for it to be like very effective. But yeah, I just take a little 15-minute nap and then I feel really energized. Like if I just took like 3 caffeine shots, and I don't even need that. So, well, in this case, I was pretty tired and I didn't want to work out today, but I just still worked out. I didn't take no caffeine, and right now I feel good. I just naturally function without any caffeine like that. Yeah. So talking about my little tangent, my little off-track tangent. After I did the underhand lat pull downs, I went to do the plate loaded dips. So personally, I have the weighted dip vest, and I used to do it at my university gym, but the dips thing area is a little crowded most of the time, and I kind of do like that plate loaded one because it's a little bit more stable. But if you were to tell me to choose either the plate loaded dips or the body weight dips with the added weight on your hips, same thing to me. So I just like that one more it's just like more easier to set up personally. If you do the weighted dips, you would get the same benefit as the other one. And I put 4 plates on that side, and and it's kind of funny when you load it up. I kind of have to jump on top of it and let myself sink down, and then I can start working the dips. It's pretty cool. I did 3 sets of 8. It was really nice, and I do recommend that a lot. It's really good. I do feel a lot in my chest, and I've never injured my shoulders doing it. And I superset that with some bicep curls because I didn't want to waste time just doing bicep curls just cause, like just by itself. So I just did it with chest because you don't use your biceps when you're pushing, it's like a opposite. And after that, I finished my workout with the with the chest supported plate loaded row. I was gone. I was tired by the end of it. You could assume so. When you do when I do push, pull, or legs, when I do that type of split, I don't feel that tired at the end of the workout. But since I did like 3 or 4 compound movements back to back to back, it actually does take a lot of your energy out. And you may ask, are you just being lazy because you're just doing all of it at once? And yes, you could think that way, but I also train jujitsu. So tomorrow, for example, I'm still gonna go work out, and it's not gonna be in the gym. It's gonna be in the mats. I'm gonna be rolling around going to the gi and no gi class. And then the day after that, I'll go to another no gi class, and then after that, I'll probably on Friday I'm gonna go hit another full body day. So I'm hitting my chest twice a week, and I'm getting adequate rest. I can have like a rest day or 2 rest days, and it's just the consistency that matters the most. If you keep a split where you work out every single day and you don't have no rest, your muscles grow when you rest. When you sleep and you get that adequate rest that you need, and you're giving your body the nutrient that it needs, that's when you put on that muscle. That's when you put on that size, that strength, whatever you want to call it. And it's actually very important to have those, have at least 1 rest day or 2. And it doesn't have to be like where you're bedridden and you're just like bed rotting for a whole day. Of course, you could go for a walk and you could study too. But for my split, I think that's the best thing that works for me, where I just train jiu-jitsu 4 times a week and then go to the gym twice a week. And it just sustains me and keeps me pretty good in my cardio, pretty good in my skills and grappling and stuff like that. And it just works off of each other. So yeah, that was the exercise part, and I'm glad to keep y'all around. If it wasn't too boring, yeah, thank you.